BO5. We are ready. We're on Takamok for game number 1. And in the top right, we've got a blue Protoss. It is Creator.
And in the bottom left, the red Zerg, the monster. It's Rogue.
All right, Rogue is here. Now, look, I love Rogue. I haven't quite seen him get back to the point I expect him to be at post-military. Like, what makes me sad is that some players don't get there, right? Some players go military, they come back, they're never quite the same. It kind of gets them out of their groove for a while, and they can't quite recapture it. I'd like to believe that Rogue is a player that can get back to his truly, truly monstrous status, where you're just terrified of him. He's not there yet. Maybe today. Maybe today is the day where he gets there, and he's able to look terrifying, play excellently the whole time, and I'd love to see it. Creator is going to be in a lot of trouble here if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue definitely is a beast, but you are totally right about that. He hasn't had the big results that we maybe expect to see from him. Like, he's been good, but he hasn't been as good as he once was, to quote Toby Keith.
No. Nope.
And yeah. It's just, it's going to be very interesting. He's one of the players to keep an eye on for the upcoming GSL brackets, because from my understanding, he's one of the few players that's playing for that qualification spot.
Yeah, he's motivated. He's ready to rock. So yeah, I'm excited to see him playing with some extra motivation there, and here today as well. So Overlord Scouting shows the Gateway expand timing. We're walling off with the Cyber Core. Everything is very standard on Creator side of the map as well as on Rogue's. A little bit of an extractor trick, but otherwise hatch gas pool. 4 Lings for the Adept, 2 Queens for injecting and defending, and then I want to say his third base here will come down at, let's say, 245.
245.
245 is my guess.
Probably
is he already
somewhere
going?
around there.
Is he already going?
No, not yet.
No, he's not yet. Okay. I've got some time. Come on. Come on, Rogue.
There it goes.
Oh,
my
1,
gosh,
2,
you are...
3, 4, 5.
Oh,
Bam!
nicely done.
Woo! I am so proud. That is my proudest moment of casting. Let's go.
Yeah, really
Dang.
well done.
On the nose. That wasn't even... Anyway, yeah, 245 on the nose. Like I said, yep, no questions at all. Got it. Okay, so Adept Scouting, checking for that third base. Trying to see if there's an early lair. Trying to see if it's an early Roach Warren, because Rogues, early Roaches and Ravagers are super painful to hold off. Excellent job by those probes.
Yeah.
Killing a Scouting Zergling. And are we going to finish this? No, just checking for the lair. And there isn't one.
That was a little bit of a missed opportunity, running that Ling to where it could be killed by those probes, because Rogue did not see that it's a Stargate he's up against.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
What's it going to be?
I mean, he's still going to prepare for his Stargate, but
Yeah.
it's one of those little things that can be an indicator of how a series may go, potentially. But that Oracle is seen. It's not even trying to go in for damage presently, because Creators is like, well, he's got Queens and he'll probably have them in position. So sometimes Zerg does prefer to just try and go for things like a Creep Tumor or throw down Stasis Wards. So far, pretty good positioning from Rogue, but also very consistent pressure from Creator, throwing out those Adept Shades as often as he can, forcing the Zerg to reposition his units. And then just...
Yeah, I mean, it's just forcing him to watch out, be very careful. The Adepts getting in there and killing a few workers can really set you back, so you do have to keep an eye on those Shades. They may be scouting, but they could come in for some harassment. And are we going to save that Overlord?
Oh, he's going to try. Oh,
Yes.
and he does get it.
At the cost of like 6 Zerglings, but hey, the Overlord is alive.
Yeah, and that does force Creator to warp in another Stalker just to finish it off. And he's like, where did that thing go? As he does not want to let that live. So, interesting choice by the Zerg to actually make the commitment there, because But it's little gambles like that which can pay off. Maybe win the mind games a bit.
Yeah, definitely can. We've got a Roach Warren on the way and a Lair timing as well. +1 melee attack, though, here for Rogue Zerglings and Banelings and stuff.
Yeah, that could be maybe indicative of like a Ravager Ling style that Rogue wants to go. We'll see if he really, or maybe he'll just not make a single Roach and spam a bunch of Zerglings. Oracles do come in. They are successfully able to get 3 drones, which is quite nice. Creator microing them so they share the damage being taken.
Yeah, I mean, if 2 oracles show up, you're going to lose a couple drones there. Not much you can do about it, even with the queens and the drones and the spores and stuff. Okay. Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, just that Creator's going Blink behind this. So he's got Blink on the way, +1 on the way. Pretty standard Protoss stuff, so it is very important he keeps those oracles alive, because mass Zerglings, like Rogue is kind of going for, can just potentially surround and kill an early stage Protoss gateway army. That's why these oracles are so important, and why Creator is sort of just mining his retreat route here.
Yep, that's important stuff. Stasis ward positioning there is always very important against Zerg. Catching like 12 Zerglings that are about to pounce on your stalkers is a great feeling.
Oh man, look at this. Creator is going in quite deep right now, shading some adepts towards the natural, but then retreating as the queens are pushing forward. But Rogue doesn't go off of creep to try and surround this. Like, the numbers look pretty good for Rogue, I think. But he's being very cautious and respecting this, as he is just trying to buy time for the Spire he's started to build. But now we see the Lings go for the commitment. The stasis wards have been preemptively cleaned out. Queens get far enough forward that they are able to kill off one of the Oracles. The other is out of energy. So that is a nice cleanup by Rogue. And there's that Spire.
Yeah, poop and creep on it, maybe trying to hide it, sort of, from Creator. Not doing a great job, but hey.
Yeah, he needs more Overlords to increase the flow to block it.
And it's 8 Mutalisks getting fired up. He's like, how many Phoenix you got? How many can you make real fast? Because I got Mutas coming. Let's go.
Yeah, Creator at least suspects this a little bit, or is kind of doing the default prep for it, which the Protoss is like, oh, I'll throw up a cannon and a couple of batteries, and that should be fine. As he does have, well, yeah, battery cannon in the third, battery, or just cannon in the main, so like that will help out to deal with these mutas, but it isn't like, oh, I know I'm up against mutas sort of response. It's just a middle of the road safety decision, and we'll see if it is going to be enough to prevent significant damage. The one cannon will definitely buy time. We'll see if there's going to be a warp in, and there it is.
Yeah. Isn't that nice? You're like, boy, I've got nothing for these Mutas. Oh, let me warp in 10 Stalkers in 2 seconds. Easy.
It really
Protoss,
is
man.
nice for Protoss when you got the money, or when you're not supply blocked, which in my games tends to be neither of those things. Very nice move by Rogue, forcing High Templar to morph into an Archon to save themselves.
But 9 probes have gone down. Stalker's chasing here.
Yeah.
And chasing as well. And, you know, there's a Phoenix out, but that is not going to stop more probes from dying. 11 probes, 12 probes. We've got Glaive bouncing onto probes here. Counterattacking. Here is Creator down to the 4th base of Rogue. 5th base coming up on the left side. Can we bring the Mutalisks home to hopefully snipe off the High Templar?
Oh, the Prism gets found.
And yeah, there we go. Prism not being escorted properly, and it is down. Reinforcing at the front is now very, very hard for Creator.
Yeah, that is the wind out of the sails of Creator gone. In fact, he may just have to go home after this, because like any trade was going to be a close one, and without Protoss being able to reinforce, it's probably not going to go his way. We do just have Creator behind this, not really making much. Like, he warped in an Archon. He's got a few Phoenix out, but Rogue turns and grabs one of them, which is quite nice. And the Protoss decides to go on in, but this is really ambitious for Creator. Baneling's rolling forward. There isn't enough Psystorm, or it's not in a good enough position. The Toss lost most of his firepower there.
Yeah, Zealots coming in. Those Banelings will be good against them as well. It's 108 to 73 armor supply in favor of Rogue here. And Ultralisk Caverns on the way. 17 Banelings on the way. Crashing more Banelings in here. surrounding the Zealots and the High Templar, recalling the Oracles. Full retreat here from Creator, and Rogue is fully in the driver's seat at this point.
Yeah, I think Creator almost needed to make that retreat a minute earlier before he let Rogue get all those nice pickoffs. Now the Stalkers are getting surrounded. There is a Psystorm. It catches a lot of Zerglings there. But here go Banelings rolling forward. High Templar have no choice but to morph into an Archon yet again, so there's no more Psystorm. Stalkers are just garbage against Lings. We've got a cannon, a few Zealots warping on in. Oracles are helping cut down these Lings, but the Mutas are just sort of suicide to pick them off. So Creator's having a bit of a defense, but it's just
over.
Hopeless. GG.
Yeah. I think it was over on the other side of the map there, man. Rogue held that off so well. Got a nice surround on everything with those Lings, the Mutas. Sniping off that Warpism, as you said, was a huge deal. And Rogue gets a win in game number 1. Yeah, he's looking good. Yo. Protoss fans are like, uh-oh. If Rogue's back, that's not good for us. Although, again, Hero won the last GSL. So, I mean, there's something to be happy about, Protoss fans.
It's true, and we do have another good Protoss playing later today. It's going to be Classic versus Cure, which should be a very, very fun TVP.
Without a doubt. So yeah, happy Saturday, folks. Happy Sunday, folks, depending on where you are in the world. I think most places it's Sunday by now, but happy to have you here for some StarCraft late anyway. Super StarCraft Global number 21. Incredible lineup, as you've seen already. Let's see if Rogue can get a 2-0 here on the start. Obviously, that'd be nice for him in a best of 5. You can pretty much relax after that, but I'm sure Creator's got some aces up his sleeve. He's got some moves he needs to make. Not getting surprised by Mutalisks, I think, would be a good place to start. Because, man, did he get super surprised by that tech switch. I guess it was just more of an opening from Rogue. Wasn't too weird. How's it going, Ice Chingu?
Okay, in the upper right, it's Creator. I'm not sure what team he's on, to be honest.
Does it not say on Wikipedia?
I'm sure it does on Wikipedia, but
I'll find it real fast. And in the bottom left, we've got the monster himself. It's Rogue. According to Wikipedia, he is playing for Team Al-Qasdia Esports. Al-Qadsia. It's a Saudi esports organization. Currently, the whole player roster is Creator.
there's a few of those teams with the Esports World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it is good for the environment, though, that players have to, well, that teams kind of have to sign players before they know who's qualified for EWC, because it means lots of players got on good teams.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a bonus. Good for the players. All right. Probe scouting out, trying to see what's what. Rogue. Got a hatch coming down. Got gas coming down. Got a pool coming down. No pool first. That is excellent to scout here from Creator.
Yeah, that
Playing
is
the
good.
mineral game.
We do not see a lot of pool firsts from Zerg in this day and age, I don't think.
We do not. I mean, just because everybody's scouting so hard, right? You go pool first, and the Protoss scouts it. It's like, oh, well, what are you supposed to do at that point? They hard wall, everything's fine, you die.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, while in that previous game, Creator was dead before he hit the ground, he did at least try to get up like a fleet beacon and another Stargate, so he had intentions of switching that into being a later game. He just didn't do it very well. So who knows? Maybe we'll get that in game number 2. Leylines, it might be a bit of a more friendly map for that as the Protoss. But it is, once again, just a safe Stargate opening.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you don't, you're kind of in trouble. It is funny how many parallels there are between Brood War and StarCraft 2 these days, because there was a game in the most recent ASL for Brood War where PVZ, Protoss did not open Stargate, and then guess what? Mutas showed up and killed him. So it's very much the same as what's going on here. There aren't a ton of parallels, but the ones that exist do make me laugh. Like, the
Yeah.
games aren't that different in some ways.
Oh, that's yeah, that's funny.
Yep, same story, different verse. Cool. So yeah, it's Adept. It's scouting with Adepts. It's
Ooh.
pressuring with Adepts. It's Oracles. A couple Lings get in. This time they don't die to probes. At least not yet, but they're playing with fire. Those guys have zappers on them.
Yeah.
They do get in, get the scout off.
This is a little bit of lost mining time for Creator, though. Not the kind of thing you want to deal with Toss. And look at these probes. They are chasing this one Ling so far. Creator, wake up, man.
Oh, that's like when you grief the AI in Brood War. You can send one worker to their worker line and they all chase that one worker.
Oh, it's like that in it's like that in every game. Like the AI, you just find what the leash range is, and then you just
Yeah.
you just abuse that.
Brutal.
I see a lot of that in the bot games that I cast. So
Really? The bots try to take advantage of how dumb bots are?
well, not necessarily. It's more so just a byproduct sometimes of certain behaviors, like chasing a scouting Ling endlessly, because it turns out if a Zergling is independently controlled by a bot, it will literally never be caught. So
Right. So why chase it? Haven't quite got to that point yet, the AI, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, some of the better bots do have it so that they will like break off chase and have a leash range sort of thing, but not every bot does, and it's some of the problems are very hard to solve because it's like, how do you program that? It's like, how do you program it where your bot will actually take care of threats, but then not just chase a unit endlessly across the map? So it's very tricky.
Yeah, that is tricky. Perhaps they'll solve that problem entirely one day. All right, Twilight Council coming in for charge. Maybe Resonating Glaives? That'd be a fun little counterpunch here attempt from Creator after that game one. Everybody knows how good those are against Zerg.
You know, on Bingo, the freebie square, every Protoss has Resonating Glaives in the center of their bingo card for a tournament.
They do. Yeah, they got to pull it out once. And I mean, heck, even though it shouldn't work against high-level Zergs, it sure does more often than it should.
Oh, yeah. Well, everything in StarCraft is, like, cyclical, right? Like, it becomes popular, and then the Zergs counter it, and then over time, they forget about it, and then it comes out again, so... Okay, Adepts shading around. This Void Ray is doing work. Is that its third Overlord? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Good job, Void Ray.
Yeah, supply block on Rogue, brutal stuff. High number of Lings charging across the map here to that third base. We got Stalkers, we got a shield battery. We got enough to hold. Ooh, he recharged an Oracle there.
Yeah.
Throw down a Stasis. Interesting move there. Revelation thrown down just to keep a scout on what's happening here. Blink's on the way. Temple Archives for Psystorm on the way. Dropper Lords coming in. That's what we're talking
now
about.
It's
Let's
just
get some
one
drops.
down here. So Rogue kind of changing pace as he builds a bunch of roaches, which we did not see in the previous match, and then just plans on backstabbing Creator with a drop while he's deflecting the push that's going to be coming his way. Although, okay, there we go. He does. Okay, there they go. Get in the car, kids.
Yeah.
And they are off. Now, Creator realizes that Rogue is trying to get aggressive. That second Dropper Lord is being used for Queens, and the Zerg is just going to try and break Creator very quickly. The Protoss has some of his Stalkers wander forward. They're going to have to blink on out of there. He's trying to target down the Dropper Lord, and he does get it. Forces the Queens to back out a little bit further back. Probe pulling a couple Stalkers warped in. Does deal with the drop in his natural. Now, can he deal with the big push at his front? There is High Templar with Storm, but Rogue isn't that clumped up.
Yeah, good spread on the units. Another Psystorm comes in, catching a little bit of damage here, but 72 to 38 army supply. Another storm can even this out a little bit. Archon's morphing in.
Yeah.
Void Ray going after these Ravagers. No anti-air against the Void Rays here. Creator starting to maybe push back a little bit. Probes are fighting, evening the worker count up. More Lings coming across the map. And it looks like it might be a hold. Can the Queens take down the Void Ray? No good. Micro and Creator holds the attack.
Well done by Creator. The quick dispatching of that drop that was in his natural was phenomenal because it let him focus entirely on the defense at that front. He pulled the High Templar back, and then, yeah, just keeping that Void Ray alive from the earlier game and dealing with the Queens as quickly as possible really let him deal with that. Couple of High Templar may be in trouble. They don't quite have energy to Psystorm these Lings into oblivion, and they do get in a nice safe spot against that battery, though, keeping them alive.
Yep. So the good news is that Rogue now has a worker lead. He was down a little bit. He had cut workers in order to make that attack happen, but he killed some probes on the other side, and he's got a 4th base up. So, I mean, I think he's okay. Just because that attack didn't work, I think he did enough damage to be fine afterwards. He is getting a +2 melee attack, getting a range upgrade for Hydras. Big fan of those in this matchup, too, depending, on how much Storm there is.
Yeah, Rogue, he does have potential to play this out. It's not going to be the most comfortable position, though, because, I mean, that was a lot of army he lost in that attack. Army supply is even with the Protoss right now, which isn't the most comfortable spot to be in for Zerg. So we'll see if Creator sort of dilly-dallies or gives Rogue the opportunity to sort of just stabilize a bit and build up that nice backbone once again.
Fleet Beacon coming in, laughing games.
Hey, there it is. And this is what I mean. Like, Creator, he didn't just do a round of Warpins and charge across the map on defending that attack. No, he's like, all right, I'll play this out. Locking down his 4th base, getting that Fleet Beacon on the way. We'll know maybe in like 20 minutes if that was the right decision or not. But it definitely is a bit of a risk because now he's getting set up to play the late game against Rogue.
Yeah, he is ready. Going to be with those carriers. Tempests have been pretty popular in PvZ these days.
Oracle
Mothership
does
on the
go
way.
down.
Yeah, good snipe there. And yeah, you're going to want more than Hydras. With Tempests and with this Mothership too, he's going to want Corruptors. Let's see if he recognizes what's going on here in time. Overlord with the Scout gets in, warping in a Stalker to hide it too. Like, that's got to set off some warning bells. And he does get in range. He sees it. He sees this. Oh, he sees everything. Okay. Got
Nicely
the Stargate,
done.
got the Fleet Beacon. What's he going to do? Does he do anything in response?
He builds
6
10
Hydra
drones.
Yeah, 10 drones, 6 Hydras, no Spire. All right, Rogue.
Rogue's
Let's see what you got, man.
Rogue's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna need to get some drones because I'm gonna be losing a lot of stuff, so I'll need money. Stalkers are kind of getting caught here, so Creator's forced to go for a recall. I think that was probably 5-6 Stalkers that died. That's quite painful for the Protoss. Something else to note in this game, while yes, Creator has got his 4 bases locked down very hard, we look at the map right now and we are over 50% creep coverage at this point, it seems. And that means taking bases like a 5th, which he will need at some point, could be a bit tricky. It's going to allow Rogue to move around the map easily, as we do see Lings running on him. Rogue's like, nope, no base there. But he's probably going to be just trying to run circles around Creator. We'll see if he can or not. That is some bad pathing, as those roaches do get caught.
Yeah, don't want to be there, man. Spire about 50% complete here. Lunges on the way. Burrow's coming in.
Yeah, look at this.
Adaptive Talons for the Lurkers. Rogue's going to have a lot of tools here.
6 Spore Crawlers being built. Lurkers en masse. That definitely is the sign of a Zerg who's just locking things down. Now, it is kind of funny because we've had games in the past where it's just players will be like, all right, we're going to the late game, and they'll have this big epic setup and they're getting ready. They're like, yeah, this is going to go on forever. And then one player just takes a bad fight or seizes an opportunity, and the game can very well end. So both these players still need to be very, very careful. Creator needs to really manage his army well because Rogue will definitely jump on him if he splits it up, and, well, subpar, and he has split it up.
Yep, and we're just going to get rid of these roaches, I think. The supply is not going to be that useful as the game goes on. Ling's chasing some probes around, maybe getting, trying to get into the natural base, but nice wall with the Immortal. Then the army comes back to cover, and actually Rogue doesn't just sack the roaches. He actually brings them home. Corruptor production has begun. He can't make that many, about 6 before he gets supply blocked. But he's getting a Carapace upgrade. These roaches need to be hitting probes, not that assimilator. Come on, go after the guys on gas. You can do it.
Yeah.
I know you've got enough APM for it.
This is pulling the attention of Creator around a little bit. Rogue does try and find an opportunity at the 5th base. It's very important that Creator had his army there because he cannot afford to lose that 5th unless he's getting something big in exchange. We do see some cannons at the natural. I'd honestly love another one or two or a battery at the door because Rogue may try and, say, crack that natural at some point with, say, lurkers or something like that. But for now, Creator is just hanging out. We do see batteries and cannons being added at the 5th base. That's very important. I mean, Rogue's got 18 lurkers, so he can build as many cannons and batteries as he needs, because if they just happen to roll up on a Nexus, that can be very problematic.
100%. Charging out, man. Ling's still trying to get that run by, but here oh, never mind. The front door's wide open. Oh, dear. Yeah, just burrowing right in this entranceway, trying to clean it out with Tempest. Ling's all up in the main base, causing major issues here as well. Nidus erupts. Rogue has Adrenal. These Lings are mean. And this might be a GG here. What a decisive move as the probes start falling. Creator's kind of paralyzed in the middle of the map. You're not quite sure what to do with it. Does he counterattack? Does he clear this out? The Tempests are killing the lurkers. But he's got 23 probes that have died. His economy's not good. He doesn't have a huge bank to replace it. What's he going to do?
It's a very, very slow cleanup from Creator. At the same time, well, I mean, this lurker really hurts at the 5th, because now it's, what, all but only 2 of his bases are mining at this point. I don't hate him leaving the army where it was. Like, a lot of players would panic and pull their army back, but Creator said, nope. I've been through this rodeo before. If I move my army out of position, I'm going to lose my 5th base. So he just took the slower, almost more painful feeling way of cleaning up his main and his natural. But he did get it cleaned up, so he can play this game out. Now, we do have that lurker at the 5th base still causing problems, and Nidus now at the 4th. But Creator's alive, and he's maxed out, so there's a chance. But, oh, this is painful. Nicely done by Rogue.
Oh, you can one volley down Tempest. That's a lot of Corruptors, man, with +1 attack, no less.
Ooh.
Greater Spire coming in here, too.
High Templar feeling the pain as all those lurker spikes cause problems for him. Now there's the Vipers out. The Protoss can't just poke on in easily. Time Warp gets dropped. Cloak by the Mothership as well. That's a good way to keep those units safe.
Woo. Good storms on those Corruptors, too. Yeah, this is why Tectonic Destabilizers was created. It was added to the game because of these spore forests that Protoss had a hard time clearing, so they're being cleared well, and that's why it exists. But then also they didn't get rid of Abduct, so
this is such a weird engagement going on right now as the Protoss army kind of just pauses, and Creator doesn't dive in to save his air units, so he just trades out air units for air units. We've had 8 dead Tempest versus 10 dead Corruptors, which is in favor of the Zerg cost-wise. And a few Archons do go down to the Lurker Spines. Rogue, meanwhile, is still hammering the natural and main of Creator. Creator, you got to react to this. There's a Nidus going up inside your main. Come on, Creator, do something about it.
No, too late now. It is done.
And
there's the roar that nobody likes to hear. The Lurkers are coming out. Warping and stuff now is just too late.
Okay, is Creator going to pull the whole thing back now to try and deal with this?
Look at him. He's just
warping in DTs.
He's heading the other way. I mean, DT's not a bad idea.
No, they're not. As Rogue doesn't have an Overseer with this, he used a Burrowed Ling to reveal this. Observer comes on in, and so the DTs will clean this up. Creator also outpositions Rogue, grabs a base, drops some Psystorms, but going up that ramp is a very big commitment, so he does quickly go back down that ramp. Still, though, getting a base, making the defense happen. Creator's still fighting, and he's got this big old death ball still.
Yeah, man, it's looking scary, but Rogue's not afraid of it. I'm afraid of it. A lot of Zergs are afraid of it. Rogue is not. He's being careful with the Corruptors. He might jump in here. He's pre-splitting them somewhat well. Takes down the
Oh, man.
mothership. With that gone, a lot of utilities gone. Tempest tries to join the party. No, I mean, Archons and Immortals are pretty good against Lurkers, but it's 27 Hydras in production.
Yeah,
Kraber
that
doesn't
is
have
a
enough money to keep
ridiculous
up.
amount of Hydras. He definitely doesn't. GG, but Rogue taps out, actually. So Rogue
Wait, what?
cannot make the recovery as Creator was on his production, and yeah, he just can't contend that ground army, I guess, and taps out.
He had 27 Hydras coming. Rogue, what? wait. I am absolutely befuddled by that. There wasn't... What?
I think that was a bit of an early GG, but maybe Rogue didn't know Creator was only on 47 probes and couldn't reinforce that well.
Wow. Okay. I guess. I think that was a mistake. I think he had that. I mean, army value was definitely bigger, but they had 27 Hydralisks in production and was like, nope.
I mean, yeah, it definitely was an early GG. I think Creator was in a decent position, and there was a world in which he sort of snowballs and just wins the game, but Rogue did leave right at the beginning of any potential snowball like that, so.
I disagree.
You think he could have come
also-
back?
Yeah, I think you're on the wrong screen. He had better economy.
Whoops.
He had 27 Hydras. That's going to deal with an Immortal Archon army every day and twice on Sundays. He was fine. I don't... Like, at least let the Hydras see what they can do, and then if they die, okay, by all means, tap out. But they don't take that long to build. They were coming. I know the army, as it were, was on top of his production, but it was like 3 Archons and 4 Immortals. It wasn't a giant, unstoppable carrier fleet or anything.
Yeah, you do have a point. I don't think there was a Prism with that either or anything,
No.
so...
Boo. Boo. Yeah, I thought Rogue looked so good in that game. I thought for sure he had it. I mean, and that's why. That's why I'm mad about it. Is because I thought he had it. Like, he was in control of that entire game.
Yeah. At the same time, the Protoss did have a bit of a death ball, which I guess he feared. Anyway, it's 1-1 in the bottom right. It's Creator.
And in the top left, it's Rogue. All right, that one's going to bother me for a minute. Rogue again, extractor tricking just to get that earlier hatch out to stop the hatch block, but I don't know if he can get it on this map anyway. Yeah, he's trying, but it's too late. Yeah, so he fires up a couple more drones and then goes for the hatch at the third base, which is annoying. That's why Protoss do it. But it's not going to throw Rogue off too hard. I don't know. Ice? Like, Ice is with me on this. He's like, Creator's dead, and then Rogue tapped out. He's like, what? We're together on this, Ice Chingu.
Yeah, that would be a good one to send to, like, Hearthstone to break down. Was
Seriously.
Rogue dead?
I disagree wholeheartedly. Again, I admit, if the Hydras pop and they all just die somehow, then okay, great, you're dead. But the Hydras, there were 27 of them. There was no Psystorm. There were no carriers. If you don't have Psystorm or carriers and you're dealing with Mass Hydra, you just kind of die.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Game 3 is happening now.
It is. Yeah,
Nothing crazy so far. The hatch block was annoying. It's gonna be another Stargate opening, because what else do you do against a Zerg player?
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in to the Soup Starcraft Global number 21.
Whew.
We hope you're all having a nice weekend, and yeah, click that like button on the stream if you haven't already. If you've got a soup account, click follow on the channel as well.
All right, Stargate, yes. Warp Gate research, yes. Metabolic boost, yes. Everything's looking normal. It's the same openings, the first 3 games here from both of these players. It's going to be an Oracle. It's going to be a couple of Adepts. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 Oracles. Rogue has the opportunity to be a little bit more interesting here, and he has mixed it up. He went Muta opening. He went Roaches. He went Nidus. Let's see what he does in game 3 if he wants to play it differently, or maybe go back into the sneaky Muta play, which I think would have worked in game 2 as well. Because Creator sure didn't mix up what he was doing all that much. Yeah, Adepts do finish the Shade. And there we go. 4 drone kills.
Holy cow, that is quite decent for this stage in the game.
Yeah, 1 Adept for 4 drones.
Yeah, and a big pull of the workers as well. Now, Creator did lose 2 probes, I guess, to Ling's out on the map. But, yeah, nicely done. Oracle also grabs a couple of drones and gets on out. Lings, though, are looking for vengeance, wrapping around this Adept. The Adept does shade to the other side of the wall, though. And it was just a cancel gateway. The Lings maybe could have gone back in there, but another Adept does pop out. And immediately,
yeah, a little dangerous.
It is a wall. Void Ray once again from Creator. It saved his bacon in game number 2, making that defense happen.
Yeah, sure did. Void Ray, again, effective in game 2. Look like it's going to get some more kills here in game 3 as well. Again, a Void Ray just kind of sharking around, finding Overlords. I don't think it's ever really a bad idea. Unless your enemy goes for some kind of a crazy, like, 2-base Hydra attack, and then your Void Ray sucks. But other than that, I think you're okay.
Rogue is really respecting it this game, as he does move his Overlords to safety. Pulls them all in. So he wants to try and keep the Overlord losses to 1. Now, Creator may be going for a bit of a cool trick here, sending in the Void Ray, but it may just be trying to soak damage, potentially, for the Oracles, which are going to go for drones. No, he just leaves the Void Ray there, and then runs on out with the Oracles. The Void Ray now going to try and poke the 3rd base. It can maybe grab a drone. Instead, it's Prismatic Alignment on an Overlord, so while Rogue pulled some of them back, he does still lose another one.
Void Ray, get him. Another Roach Horn coming in. Lair getting started too. Could be more drop shenanigans like we saw in game 2 out of Rogue. Again, I like that he's mixing it up, trying to keep Creator on his back foot. It's a good trait to have in the StarCraft.
Yeah.
Whereas again, Creator's just kind of doing the same darn thing, right? It's Adepts. It's Oracles, it's a Void Ray, it's Immortals, it's Archons, it's Storm. He's probably going to get into Stargates here. Surround on the Adepts. Pretty good surround. They're going to kill as many drones as they can because they're all going to die. 5 drones is the final number.
5 drones.
11 drones get fired up, and Rogue doesn't care.
That was another 4 dead Adepts. Creator did keep that Oracle alive, notably, in that engagement with the Queens, and then he comes back on in, grabbing some more drones, kind of miss micros for the next attempt in. He's just zapped so many drones one time, but he does end up getting another, so 10 drones dead. The Void Ray, being a hero, does grab another Overlord. I can't believe it. He got 3 kills once again.
Yeah, man. 4 total kills, 3 Overlords. What a boss. Hydra Den finishing up. Infestation Pit on the way. I mean, it just feels useless sometimes harassing good Zerg players. Like, yeah, he killed some workers, but they're at tier 3. They've got 75 workers at 7 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It's just useless sometimes. Good Oracle defense here. That would have been a few more dead probes without a doubt. But here comes the War Prism, and here's the timing.
He is going to try and capitalize on his early damage. Rogue had to cut production to replace those drones, so now in comes the Protoss with a boatload of sentries and just a ton of firepower. Once again, Rogue is in a situation where he's building Hydras, but they might not be out in time. We have great force fields going down from Creator. He does lose a Oracle. There's Hydras caught in the back. Overlord's moving on in, soaking damage along with some drones, but Rogue taps on out as Creator takes game number 3 and the lead in the series.
That one I'm more okay with. That was tough. That was your Hydras were late. The force fields are keeping them out. You didn't have any Ravagers to break the force fields. Your third base was going to die. The army value was massively in favor of the Protoss there, and the economy was good too for Creator. So that's a GG. That's just a great timing with amazing force fields, which crazy annoying to deal with. But man, if you're going to deal with somebody like Rogue, force fielding them out is a good way to take care of it. So excellent job. 2-1. Rogue needs to win this to force a game 5 even. Which is why that game 2 hurts so much.
Yes, he's in a very precarious position now. I honestly expected Rogue to win this series, but Creator's looking good, so.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, Rogue's not quite back up to 100% yet, so I wasn't going to put any money on Rogue winning, but man, if he goes down 3-1, it won't be sad.
Yes, regardless of the result of this match, though, we do at least have another best of 5 coming, which is going to be great. Kira and Classic, 2 players that look very much at the top of their game presently.
Absolutely, both playing extremely well.
And here we are, in the bottom left of Persephone, the Protoss player Creator.
And in the top left, extractor tricking again is Rogue. Wants that 15 hatch so bad.
Persephone, a very interesting map with the vertical spawns. Oh, the drone is like, oh, is there a probe coming? But no, Creator kept the probe at home.
So yeah, Creator did mix it up in that last one. Nice little timing attack, especially with those sentries, the stalkers. Void Ray in there too. Oracle's getting some work. Pretty fun little attack for sure. So yeah, maybe Rogue was lulled into a little bit of a false sense of security, considering Creator hadn't done that in the first 2 games at all.
Yeah.
But once again, like I was saying, keep your opponent on your toes.
Yeah, Creator did a great job of that. Like, Rogue was so busy defending, I don't know if he scouted, to be honest, so he didn't know that was the follow-up.
All right, drone, where are we going? Third base time yet? A little bit early? A little bit too early? Have I seen a Zerg player use that healing shrine yet? I'm not sure I have. I've seen Protoss do it.
I don't know, to be honest.
And Terran. I don't think I've seen a Zerg use it yet, so I'd like Rogue to give it a shot here today. But that's kind of like asking for nukes.
Twilight Robo from Creator, changing it up for the first time in 4 games.
I should do more killing those rocks at the bottom of my ramps.
It's just so much effort, though.
I know it is. It takes so long with lings.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, I've lost games because I've clicked on those stupid rocks before.
Okay, here's a question. As we wait for Creator to go for this Resonating Glaives timing.
Indeed.
Now, players used to be bad back in the day compared to what they are today. So, obviously, we started to get the plates at the natural because players would just... I mean, I wasn't even in Starcraft around this era.
Protons would 3-pile on the bottom of the ramp and Zergs would die.
Yes. Say, like, if the players were as good as they were today, and, like, we had all the historical context, do you think we'd get a patch or map makers adding in those plates still, or would it just be, oh, just put a worker on patrol so then they can't build down the pylon and just get good instead of catering to solving that for players instead of just making them prevent it?
Right. So, like giving High Templar a basic attack so they don't A-move into the enemy.
Oh, exactly.
Instead of saying, get good, like, hey, dummies, like, don't do that. Put them on a different control group.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of little quality of life things they've added to help people who are bad be good, certainly. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're still doing that today.
Yeah, I guess so when you do mention things like the High Templar and Observer change. Because, man, that Observer change was a big one.
Yeah, certainly. And I don't know. I don't remember anybody back in those days being like, just get good, Zergs. Yeah, just patrol a drone at the bottom of the ramp. Don't let Protoss do it, and you'll be fine. Like, why is this hard? Why do you need your handheld?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
that's a great point. I don't know.
I wasn't around at the time, but it's just one of those things. It's like we have plates on every map because players used to do that back in the day.
Yep. And it was really good. And I don't remember... Like, it was always a win. It was always a win. I don't remember Zerg players being like, ah, yes, I can handle this. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Ice Chingu says the change so Archons don't get trapped behind walls. Right? Don't get trapped behind like a dude in a wall at your natural base. Was the change that got him to play the game again. So yeah, so maybe some of that stuff's bringing people back into the game.
Yeah.
Stuff that used to make people mad is gone now.
Okay, Creator. Going for a push once again towards the natural of Rogue. Mass Stalkers with a Prism to reinforce, picking off an Overlord as he moves on in. He's got one Immortal to back this up, a bunch of Adepts to help buffer / distract the Zerg. However, he's got to be very careful as Rogue is pumping out 21 Roaches, and he's already got Ravagers building. Nice Spore Crawler repositioning to zone out this Prism as well as it just flies over 2 Spore Crawlers and quickly turns around.
Yeah, I need to be a little more careful there. Infestation Pit on the way from Rogue. He's got a ton of Roaches, Ravagers, +1 attack coming in. Galil Reconstitution on the way. He might come for the counterattack here as his 4th base comes up. There are Colossus on the way. Extended Thermal Lance getting fired up here too with the +1 attack for the ground units. We will see if there's enough here to hold it off because Rogue is on his way.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Rogue will fully commit or potentially back off out of this. Like, he was building drones behind this, so he's not spamming lings to reinforce. He's just poking to see what he can get. Creator's building 4 batteries in a response, but yeah, Rogue just droning behind this. So we had a case where 2 players were potentially in a position to go for a big attack, each of them, but they both just backed off. And now we will have the game progress to these higher techs as a result.
Yeah, tunneling claws for the first time today, and those Colossus also haven't been used by Creator this far. We've got a Lurker Den coming in. That showed up in a previous game as well.
Okay, Roaches trying to prevent these Stalkers from pushing in and pushing Creep back, but now Creator is getting a bit more serious, stepping onto Creep. He's brought Sentries and a Colossus with him. So we've got Rogue building 13 Hydras, trying to build out his army. The Protoss will be stepping onto Creep, cleaning out these tumors, but for now just testing the waters.
Yeah, being real cautious here. I think those Hydras are going to be for Lurkers. I don't think Hydras are going to be particularly incredible here. But for now, he needs them. So it's going to be Hydras.
Yeah.
Guardian Shield ends up popping. Force Fields keep the army away, but also keep Creator from pursuing too far either. He's got the high ground position. He might break his own Force Field, yeah, with the Colossus there.
Yeah, Rogue goes for a surround to try and force Creator back. It's 116 to 89 supply. The Protoss army looks quite formidable, though. An Immortal and a Colossus is the main damage dealers. A second Colossus shows on up, so Rogue is being pressured very hard. He's got a lot of supply caught up in production. 9 Hydras and 9 Roaches not yet on the battlefield.
Yeah, Colossus getting some big-time swipes off. It's 2 of them against these Hydras, especially going to be very good. Production tab for the Zerg player is full. Creator's production tab is empty currently. A little bit surprised by that, but he did just warp in 8 Adepts as soon as I started saying that. Roach, Hydra, fighting good Blink Stalker play here. Colossus getting a ton of swipes. Army value about even.
The supply is turning.
Yeah, he needs a couple of Vipers here for abducts on those Colossus because they are just getting way too much done here.
GG.